Hi, this is Juliet Leroy, and for those of you who don't know me, I'm a transformational hypnotherapist and an executive coach. So today I'm coming to you to talk about a case that was very recent, a client that really touched me, and I'm putting myself in a very vulnerable spot here because I want to share an important message today. And as you could see from the title, it was called Burnout with a Sad Ending. So I want to talk about this guy. Let's call him Mark. Of course, this is a changed name. I want him to be staying anonymous, of course. So Mark, he's 53 years old, happily married, has 2 kids, teenagers. And he has come to see me because he was in a complete burnout and he lost his job due to that. So, the classical, driven, ambitious executive in a very high position. He had been with this company for a long time, and for years on end, he was working like crazy. And so after all those years that he has been spending the evenings, the weekends, the vacations for this company, because he started to go into burnout, they fired him. And he came to see me quite late, so it was around 6 or 9 months after he was fired. So he didn't really want to acknowledge that he was feeling bad. And finally, when he came in, it was his wife who called for him. So he was, high executive in a technical position in a technical company. So he was not really open to alternative methods and anything. He didn't do much before, but he was willing to because the feeling started to become very strong for him. The classical symptoms, like a knot in the stomach, load on his chest, tightness in his throat, things that really impacted him a lot, borderline depressive. So he came in. It was classically for coaching, but I do both. And in this case, I decided we really need to go back in time to also work on the wounds that were there. So we could not just say, okay, today this is the situation and we're going to move on with coaching. We couldn't, because the wounds were so strong in him and so present and physical for him. We needed to work on that. And so we did the classical procedure. We went into a classical hypnotherapy session to clean out the emotions. And of course, we talked a lot about the work, because that was, the main thing that was on his mind, on his heart, everywhere in his whole body, that was creating so much emotion for him. And so after the session, he went off. And of course, we had planned several sessions. As I told him before, this is not a subject that we can be working on. Burnout has been installed after years or months of working very hard, and there are other factors behind that lead to burnout. This guy was, of course, very driven, highly perfectionistic traits, wanted to do good work. And so he was keeping himself to very high standards, almost inattainable standards, what made him get into this burnout situation. So we talked a lot about those things, and we planned the next session. He went off and he didn't come back. So even when I tried to call him, he would not pick up the phone. And weeks later, I got a call from his wife asking me how did it go. And I just told her, we did the procedure, we worked on it, and he didn't come back for the session. And then she said, yeah, he didn't come back because he committed suicide. I was shocked, to say it mildly, because a lot of things that might be running through my head in that moment, thinking, oh my God, what happened, right? And it's like, on one hand, I felt so sad for his family, for his wife, for his kids, for everybody around him, his family, extended family, friends. And at the same time, I was just strangely calm. We discussed a few minutes with her, and I told her, we were talking about his work, about the thing that was hurting him the most, and we had to. And one of the points was clearly that he was internalizing all those emotions. He was not speaking about it to anybody during all those years, and that was part of his character, part of his job as well, to not appear weak, to not appear, I cannot handle, I cannot stomach the workload, etc. I had several clients coming in like him who were in burnout and who had exactly the same traits, who were, high achievers, and to not be showing weakness. They would not say that to their employer, that actually they're bearing the load of 3-4 people alone, and the mental charge and the physical charge and everything that goes with it. And so he didn't do it either. And so at one moment it just, it cracked. And so I hung up the phone with his wife, and of course I started questioning myself. I just thought, oh my God, what did we do in the session? We went through the session, the process, the classical, verbalizing the emotions, expressing the hurt, working with different tools to discharge the emotions, etc. And after thinking it through for a few days, I came to the conclusion that actually I couldn't have done anything more. I just couldn't. And I spoke to one of my best friends about it, and she said it really in a very succinct way. She just told me, look, the only thing you could do is hold out your hand, offer your help, and if he doesn't want to take it, you cannot force him. And she was right. She was right. Because I really did everything that I had in my power, and I think it was just too late. It was too late for him because he waited for so long, and he waited too long actually to seek help. And when he came in, the feeling was so overwhelming and too much for him that he couldn't handle it anymore, and it was intolerable for him. So the only solution that he could see was the exit, the final exit, to commit suicide. Of course, I was shocked and I was shaken, but at the same time, I tell myself, this work is so important, and I have hundreds of clients who had amazing results, but maybe not in one session, right? Sometimes the subject, usually, it's not like talk therapy where we take 10 years or 20 years or whatever to dig into a subject and to analyze it and whatever. Usually we talk about 3 to 7, 8 sessions to really make you feel better, not just think better where you analyze everything to death, but you feel better in your body when you lighten the load on your chest, and when you can get rid of that knot in your stomach, when you can release the tightness in your throat. That are the classical symptoms that I can see in burnout. It can also be headache or whatever. So, in this case, I just felt sad. And if I'm making this video today, it's for one reason. If you watching this feel like you're a little bit on the same road like Mark, and you feel like you're running into burnout, then please, I pledge with you, I urge you, get help. It's not about me, right? It's not about me. You can go to a talk therapist, you can go to a psychiatrist, you can go to a coach, whatever. Start talking about it, open up about it, share the load. Please do it, because there's a family. You have a family, you have friends, you have a circle of people around you, your colleagues who validate you, who appreciate you, who love you, and who want to help you. Take the help. If there is a hand that is being stretched out to you, take it. Please do it. That is my real urgent call for you. Take the help. Ask for help. It is not a weakness to ask for help. It is a strength to ask for help, because in this society, in the culture of high achieving, productivity, efficiency, etc., I understand it very well. I come from there too. But unfortunately, the companies do not support those kind of managers, and especially not, in tech companies where they're supposed to be strong, rough, hard men. They don't help them. And I have a lot of those kind of managers coming to me, like hidden, without wanting their employers to know. But in however way you want to go and do it, please seek the help. That's all I want to say to you. Please get the help that you might need. Thank you for watching. Take care and talk to you soon.